everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Victor. In this video I'm going to show you the best build for Maya at OP10. There are actually a few different ways that I like to play Maya, so I'll probably make 2 or 3 videos with the other builds so that I can also show you some gameplay and of course keep these videos short. I'm going to start with the SMG build. This is probably the best way to play with Maya, but you can definitely do plenty of damage in different builds. At OP10, the builds, of course, are going to depend on the gear that you have and are also going to revolve around the class mod and weapons that you want to use. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Before we head into these skill trees, I'm going to show you the gear that I have. So this is the first character that I leveled up in this channel. And this is the gear that I got after reaching OP10. And of course I kept this to only the Commander Lilith DLC, just because you need that to get to OP10, of course. And all of the weapons that I got, you can get them in the game. So let's go through this in the base game. Let's go through this. I have my favorite one, which is the Lyudmila. I have a few Lyudmilas. I have a Hector's Paradise. You can get it in the Commander Lilith's DLC. And I have plasma casters that you can get pretty much anywhere in the base game. I have the B Shield. It's also in the base game. The Legendary Cat class mod, which is going to be the base for this build. We got Bone of the Ancients. You can get it at anywhere in the game. The Stormfront, you can also get it anywhere in the game. You have a higher chance of getting it through the Splinter group, and that's pretty much the gear that I'm going to use as a base for this build. Of course, these changed in terms of elemental damage, but everything else is going to be pretty much with these kinds of weapons. And we got the shock damage. I prefer to use the shock damage just because the damage is the same when it comes to enemies without shields, but with enemies with shields, it just goes through the shields like nothing. And yeah, so I got a bunch of gear. I spent a lot of time farming for this. This one was actually on the 10th anniversary. If you haven't checked that out, checked in my channel, there's a video about the 10th anniversary that gives you a few free weapons. This was one of them. The Uncombed Herald, the double penetrating Uncombed Herald was the other one. Yeah, check that out. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff here, a bunch of the weapons that I love to play with. This is another one of my favorites, which is the Hornet. And of course, these ones you can get from Moxie at the bar, of course. And a bunch of relics and a bunch of other class mods. And of course, I'll go through in the other videos. I'll go through some of these with different builds. And yeah, so I also have the Neo Generator. If you don't have a B Shield, you can definitely use a different shield to play with this build. The B Shield is just better because the damage is just insane, and that's why I have it. And that's pretty much it in terms of gear. So let's get straight into the build. So as you know, there are 3 skill trees. We got Motion, Harmony, and Cataclysm. The only one that I'm going to go all the way down is going to be the Cataclysm. There's a few things. There are a few skills that to me are the base to any build. So we're going to go through it. We're going to go straight into it. Let's start with the Cataclysm right here. We're going to go with Flicker. We're going to put 5 points into Flicker. We're going to put 5 points into Foresight. I do not use any of these right here. This is useless in my opinion. And I'm going to go straight to the Cloud Kill, which is one of those that you must have. And Chain Reaction, I'm going to put 4 points into here. I'm going to max this Reaper out, which is amazing. Enemies with health above 50%, you get gun damage of 80% is just insane, which is awesome. We're going to put Blight Phoenix, which is another damage skill. and of course Ruin, which is one of the best, if not the best, skill for Maya. All right, so we're gonna go to the Harmony. On the Harmony, I'm definitely gonna put points into Mind's Eye, increase that critical hit damage by 50%, and we're gonna also use Wreck, which is amazing. When you have an enemy phase locked, you gain increased fire rate and damage with all gun types. This is just amazing. And of course, our class mod bumps that up. It's even better. So I do want to get to down here. I really don't like these too much. The Elated or the Recompense. So I usually put points here, but just to get to Sustenance. Sustenance is definitely a great skill to have for health. So definitely going to get that. I usually put 3 points over here. These two combined are, to me, are important, just to be able to be basically a tank and go into situations without worrying about health or anything like that. So I'm going to put 3 points into here. And of course, the motion, it's the one that augments the main skill. And we're definitely going to put some points into Ward right here for the shield regeneration. We're going to put definitely put into Accelerate. This is one of the ones that is also one of the base ones, very important. I'm going to put some into Kinetic Reflection. This one is pretty good. After killing an enemy, you gain the ability to deflect enemy bullets, sending them flying toward nearby enemies, which is always good. More damage that you can make. And Suspension is another one that is very important, even for the reason that other skills depend on it. So the longer you have your phase lock available, the more time you have with other skills. And one of the examples is this one. So when you have an enemy phase lock, you gain increased fire rate and damage. So the longer you have the phase lock on, the longer you can do this amount of damage, which is awesome. So we're going to keep that at 5. We're going to put 1 point into here, of course, so we can get the skill to pull all the enemies. This pulls all the enemies back to the original target. And it's very important because I usually use the phase lock just to bring all the enemies together so I can shoot the enemies on the ground first. And the phase lock is literally just to enable me to get all the other skills working so that we can do a ton of damage. And now we have 5 points left. So the 5 points, I usually don't max this out. I think because we do have the relic, so the relic gives us a cooldown rate of 46.2%, and using 5 points over here is to me is just it gets to a point where you don't get the return for the points. So I usually put 4 points here, and I use the other point. Where did I? Oh, here. So I maxed this one out for the ricochet chance, because well, you get a chance of more damage basically. So that's pretty much what I do. If you do have in other builds, kind of like if you're using the where is it? Here it is, the cooldown rate. You don't need to put any points at all if you're using the cooldown rate with the class mod and the relic, because that will give you 100% of cooldown reduction, and then you get diminished returns if you do put points into Quicken. I don't see a difference. I usually, and I'll show you on the other builds, when I take the points off of here, I don't see any difference if I'm using the cooldown rate on the class mod and the relic. So this is pretty much it. This is the entire build. This is what I like to play with the legendary cat class mod. And let's look at some gameplay.
Stop. Silence. Calm down. So it goes. Bedtime. Please stop. Boo! Yeah. You won't enjoy this. Stop!